Hey, g'day guys, it's Calvin, Cartoon Company in New Zealand. I'm wearing my 7Axis shirt sent over by one of my subscribers. He's got his Hilux up and running, which is really cool. And I'm on the way to pick up our Hilux today, right now. So I combine it with a bit of a trip to Hamilton, drop off some parts, pick up some parts, and the exhaust shop's here in Hamilton. They've got that sorted. It's got catalytic converters in it. It's got some pipes and mufflers. They said they made it quite quiet, so we'll see what it sounds like. I'm looking forward to that. Then the plan is I've got a 4-inch 90-degree bend in aluminium. I'm going to pop around to see Glenn at the lab. He's going to sort the intake, and then I'm going to pop over and try and get the air conditioning done and gassed up, and fingers crossed we can get all that done in one day. And then I'm driving it home. So I'll be swapping out the big 1300 Suzuki for a 6-litre Hilux. So from one extreme to the other, just about. Let's get to this exhaust shop and see how it's come up. I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm not here. I'm not really here. There should be a Hilux around. There it is. Woohoo! I don't think they fitted the sensors. Must use their flanges. Oh, there's the intake to put the Glen. So what do we got here? I'm going to head us up there. Front pipes, primary pipes coming through, merging. We've got converters, got to have converters to keep it legal. Back, we've got a 3-inch big stainless muffler. Big stainless muffler, and then out the back. It all looks pretty good. It was tied around the starter motor, but he did a lovely job. He did really, really well. Glenn has his race car on a trailer.
I've come to inspect this, but you've got a camera. Hey! Not really heaps. Yeah, this will be number 2 that we've...
I think it's a bit quiet. Does it sound a bit quiet?
What?
The exhaust.
What?
Sounds a bit quiet.
Can't hear you.
It's like really...
My ears are ringing. It was so rowdy when it
Yeah,
came up the
that's
driveway.
right. With a hint of sarcasm. Very quiet, eh?
I'm just waiting. Hang on.
I think we need to cut another muffler out.
Phone's going to ring in a second. It's the neighbours complaining about all the noise.
Yeah, we're not going to have that problem.
No.
Very quiet.
It's very quiet. Quieter than that.
Quieter than, yeah, way quiet.
Probably quieter than that.
Is it pleasant outside or not?
Definitely quieter than
Then you yeah.
that.
Wait.
Both of those there.
Right, yeah. It's quiet.
Yeah, no, it's good. It sounds right.
It sounds right?
It doesn't sound stupid.
Thanks.
It's not a pussy's car, but it's not.
Okay, so it's got a bit more.
Face bogan
Like inside, it is whisper jet.
Oh.
So that's your job.
You got your bit of pipe,
Make that.
right? You got the.
I got a bit of pipe. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I got an air temp sensor.
Yeah.
And there's a plug down here for the air temp. I didn't have a piece of pipe for that. I didn't bring any. So I forgot that.
I've forgotten this chap's name.
Nick.
Kelvin.
Oh,
Nick.
Yeah,
Nick. I'm Nick. Nice to meet you, man.
Good mate. He's putting a kinky bit there and he's putting a kinky bit there.
Yeah.
I came here for the kinky stuff.
Lovely, man.
Hey Glenn, came here for the kinky stuff? You're the king of kinky?
If you say so, just leave my dog alone.
That's all done. And we've lowered it down as as much as we could into there. And we're hoping actually that we can maybe put the hose clamp in there to actually support it into there. We'll see how it goes. So that's all secured. Looks pretty good in here. And it's a 4-inch, so that's a 4-inch silicon going through the factory airbox, Glenn. And then we got 4-inch going into the throttle body because it happens to be a 4-inch throttle body. And then we got 4-inch aluminium piping. And yeah, we left that a little bit long so we can just adjust it to suit.
Wrong socket.
Oh, true. No, I'm sure they're a 7, not a quarter.
Let's find out.
Yeah, we had to swap over to American. We had to drop.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want metric air going into an imperial engine.
I know. But it's these are mixed up because they got like 15mm heads on them. They're not 9/16, so 15 with metric threads.
Here's a fact, possibly a factoid, because I might get it slightly wrong. America has actually swapped over to metric. Officially, America is not an imperial country anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
Years ago,
I'm not sure that's safe to say. What do you mean? Well, these are metric under the imperial heads.
yeah. So about 80s. I'm going to say 80s. That's probably wrong, but about in the 80s, they actually officially signed everything over and swapped over to metric, and all the production of the vehicles and everything all went to metric.
Oh yeah.
Because it is better. It is. You make more money. It's easier to deal with.
Because the rest of the world is metric.
Yeah, and aftermarket, it's really weird. Things, for example, the adapter plate on this Gloria here to put a CD009 Nissan 6-speed manual box onto a VK56 engine, both metric. The CD009 gearbox and the VK56D engine are both fully metric. You won't find any imperial on them anywhere. Aftermarket adapter plate to adapter 2 have used cap screws, countersunk cap screws, with a imperial sized tool to drive it, but a metric thread to go into the engine.
Yeah. So that's like this one. That's like the LS. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Metric thread, imperial head.
Yeah. And then,
But not all of them. But not all of them.
The bolts that go through the bell housing into the adapter plate, they've used imperial bolts to do that. Even though they don't actually fit in the hole nicely, they are wobbly.
Oh yeah. Cool.
But they wanted to use their imperial threads
Right,
because they're just stuck in their ways, perhaps.
Right.
That's my whinge for today. Now I'm going to go cut 10 mils off this.
Yeah. We left it a little bit. We thought longer. So what we actually did, I was going to get you to do the water hoses, but see, with a bend, Couple of silicon bends.
That's right.
Bam! Look at that.
And it's got room to flex.
Yep, flexi move. So
A lot of people make the mistake of having it taut,
that's right.
and they'll bust fittings
Correct.
off radiators.
Correct. And so the bottom one's the same. And the bottom one didn't even need to be cut. It actually worked. It worked. And then we've got the big derail fan. So that's a 2-speed fan, dual speed fan.
Right. Man,
And we've plumbed in
I'm going to cut something.
the steam pipe. I'd like to change the fitting. I'd like a nicer fitting for the steam pipe bleed.
Yes.
But it's in there for the moment. We've got to come up with a plan for that.
I have a small selection of the fancy AN fittings and stuff that might be anodized black.
Oh yeah? It needs to be a T, and it's a 6mm to 8mm. So two
No, I won't have that.
across the top is an 8mm and then out a 6mm. So at this point of the job, it's tidying up all those little bits and pieces. It was its first proper drive. It's had its first tank of gas. All those bits and pieces, getting it ready for cert and dyno, and getting it usable on the road. And Glenn is definitely the best man to apply the kinky stuff to these pipes. His fabrication skills are just are way up there. So getting him to do those little bits and pieces just to make it look as I'd like it to be.
Stop filming, I'm not finished.
I think... How's your eyeballs going? Ichrometer? Perfect.
This one here, pretty good. A little bit too much curve on that one there. These are just some offcuts just to give us a better idea before I chop that tube up. As you can see.
Wait, are you measuring twice, cutting once?
Yeah, I just measure and cut on the fat side. And if it's wrong, then you can trim some more. And if it's on the skinny side, you see there's probably, I don't know, looking from
Pretty
there,
close.
that's maybe about 5 mils too much on that side, right?
Yep.
So it's only, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 degrees, whatever, to come off that. It's not far wrong.
Yep.
A rough person would simply cut the end of the pipe a little bit crooked, but we're not going to do that. Just going to take a little bit more off that. That fits, eh?
I'm kind of heading in the right direction.
Do you want chewing gum or blue tack?
Just masking tape it.
That's going to.
Yeah, just
Totally will.
totally put a masking tape in front.
Not quite 100% perfect. Yeah, it is. That's perfect. Just needs a welderizing onto there into there, and we can shorten up these
But yeah,
tails.
get rid of that tail. That'll give it more flex.
Yeah.
It'll give its flex back. How much tail you got here? How far into here?
Heaps.
Oh, no, that one's cut off. Oh, wait, it's down here.
It's way down there.
It's way down there. It's yeah.
Lots of penetration with this kinkiness.
Yeah, well, lots of penetrations is not something I normally have a problem with.
Right. Yes. So now to get the angle of the dangle right, because this isn't on one plane, it's just 2 planes. This one and this axis, it's called an axis to make it sound even better. We want to get the angle of the dangle right, so we've got to make sure we mark them both. So we get it at least in the ballpark, and because we're on silicon, it doesn't matter. I've lost my black cap. Oh no.
It's right here. Okay, it's hiding on the top of the engine.
That will do there, and
Oh, I'm not sure. You probably want to weld one end and weld the other, or
I'll just do the whole lot.
buzz it
It'll
up.
be fine.
There's your cap.
Just thank you. Cut the ends off it, buzz it up, smash it in there. Should be good.
I'm squeezing.
So push that end and that end so that the two join together, but make sure it stays down on the bench, because if it doesn't stay on the bench, you're going to find out what, I don't know what voltage it is, but it's enough that it tingles. Right, so close your eyes.
Yep.
I'll try not to stab you at the end of it. That's all we need, thank you boss. Now I'm going to...
I didn't get any tingles.
Oh, you must have grounded it sufficiently. I hope you're not going to leave that going and record my dodgy welding for everyone to criticise.
It works.
It's actually, look, because it's floppy like that, that means that I've got it so perfect that that tiny little bit of clearance between the pipe and the silicon is enough that no tension on it.
No tension at all.
Where do we want our fittings for air temp?
Air temp.
Like on the back side here?
Yeah, so I need one for that.
Underneath? Nah, straight in, eh?
Oh, I could probably go down here, down there.
Down there.
Away from, I want the air temp on the top side because I don't, if it does get any oil on it, I don't want to contaminate.
Oh, let's just go almost straight on, just go to there.
Yeah, so it can come out of here, it's going to come out and go up into there. We'll get it in there somehow. And then the air temp, here's our plug. Jason was, he originally had it so it could have been the air conditioning temperature. It was that long.
Yeah.
But I got him just to put a plug on it so we can tuck the extras down. Nice high flow.
Right there.
Even though it's right in the middle, but it's, I don't want it underneath because again that oil contamination thing.
But the air's going that way, eh?
The air's going that way.
Yeah, so the oil goes in after the air temp sensor.
Correct. Yes. So oil there. Perfect.
That'll be good. I'll put a bead on those, even though it doesn't really need it, but I'll put one on it anyway.
Yep. Perfect. We bought a bead roller for this job.
You bought one for this job?
Yeah, it was the tool upgrade that we got for this job. You know, in each job you do a tool upgrade, you have extra tools for the next jobs.
No.
Because we were doing the rolling for these aluminium tubes for the heater, for the radiator, and I couldn't put them on without a bead roller, so we bought a bead roller.
Oh, see, but I have a race car, so what happens is instead of buying tools for the next job, you spend money on the race car.
Yes, that's the problem.
That's what happens with race cars.
Perfect.
Okay. Make for interesting footage with all this clanging and wriggling and roggling. Because it's going, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry if you're feeling seasick, everyone. Don't blame me this time, it's Kelvin driving, not me.
Do you want me to pop this air filter off?
No, look, because it's so short now that it's really just, it's like that. Like that's it.
Bit of lube, makes it go in easier. And it's way up here, so that's cool.
Hang on.
And it needs to twist.
I've got it in the right spot. Glenn's put it in the right spot.
That's it. And it just went loose and floppy.
Lucky, I didn't think about the angle of the dangle there, but that's pretty good where it is.
That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Hose clamp at the back.
You need a little bit of... Oh, there might be some in my junk hose box here.
And some tubing.
Offcuts and stuff. Look, I reckon this will be perfect. It's a bit of AN push lock hose. But
Have you got the screw? You put the screw where?
what's in there?
Oh, I'll use this one, eh? While I'm looking for it.
Use that one. I'll cut this so it's just a bit long, so it'll have a bit of a wobble in it.
Bit of split to make it go in easier.
Oof. Oof.
A bit of wrinkle on that, it's going to look fantastic.
Want some hose clamps on your hose?
How firm is it?
Oh, it'll be tight.
Oh, no, it'll be fine then. I'm going for the stock look. I want it to look stock.
Put that on there. If we go, oh yeah,
Let's just put a little bit of a kink on it. So it's going to be lovely. Oh, that is tight, isn't it? That looks smart. Perfect. That looks really good. That's awesome, Glenn.
fixed.
Lovely, thank you. Look at that. Well done.
Is bonnet still closed?
Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on.
Do you want to grease it?
No. No.
We checked it when we had the bonnet scoop off, but of course we've just put a solid bit of aluminium in there. Oh, you got some putty?
Blue tack.
Blue tack, yep.
We'll give it the 5mm clearance test.
It's probably going to touch the 5mm.
Hang on. The moment of truth.
I'll try not to pop the petrol flat.
Well, it hasn't completely squashed it, has it? It's not stuck to there.
No, we're good.
Let's
I think you'll find it's touching into this though, but that's all squishy.
yeah, well, let's see if that changes shape drastically. Oh, I don't think it will. I think it's even at that it's got clearance.
That's the petrol cap?
That was the petrol one.
That's the petrol cap, yeah.
Yeah,
it's just touching there.
just touching. So
Yeah,
you
it's
should
good.
have like 5 mils clearance.
Yeah, mate.
Easy. So you're not going to chafe a hole on the inside of there. So that's good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. Bit of wrinkle black. That'll look cool. It does kind of come up on the bonnet line, eh, from out here.
It looks like it's going to smash right through the bonnet, but nah, it's got room.
It's a good one, thank you. That's just awesome.
Can I take a photo of that?
Absolutely, take a photo.
I've got to wash my hands. So
You can take photo. Thank you, Glenn.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Thank you very much. I'm off to Toyota.
Asking for a full service and groom.
Yeah. Man, is it hot in here? Woo! This thing needs some air conditioning. We wound up the guys at Toyota. They kind of knew what was going on, so I knew what to expect. They know me pretty well. Now I'm going to the air conditioning place. I have bribes with me. Do we see the bribes? Yes, he said he drinks red. So one way to encourage people to work on a Friday afternoon is to take beer. And I have beer. I've rung Shane. Fingers crossed, he's going to at least have a look at it. We'll see if we can make a plan. It's late in the day, it's like 3:30 on a Friday. And it's not very fair of anyone to ask them to do a job this late. So he'll at least have a look at it. We'll see what come up with. See what we come up with. I've got the laptop beside me. I'm making a few adjustments as we go along. It had funny fuel trims, and that's because the last one I had the oxygen sensors around the other way. So I've done that, swapped them around and just turned the trims off for the moment, and that makes it drive better. And the more I drive it, the better it's getting. I need some more fuel in here. Turns out the beer works. They've pressure tested it before I left, and I've jumped in their courtesy car to go check out another job, another Lexus. So it looks like we might have some cold air today. We're still going to cross our fingers that they're on the job. It's not quite 4 o'clock. They said they try to hold off till 4:30 before they grab a beer. But if it gets my air conditioning done, I don't care. So that's how close we got. But it is done. We have got cold air. Not super cold, but it's quite nice. I would actually like it to be making my nipples poke out, freezing them off, but it's not that cold. But we'll see how it comes. With a bit of drive on the open road, it is very hot out here today. So first proper drive on the motorway. Speedo is accurate. I'm doing 110 k's an hour. 2,500 RPM in top gear, 5th gear. It's a rocket when you put your foot down, when you come onto the expressway and you want to accelerate away. And it is so smooth. I quite like the quiet exhaust now, after I've got used to it. I think Aaron's going to want a little bit more. But this thing is cool. I've been calibrating speedo. I have made it so I can convert back to running it directly off the gearbox. I've made a couple of little jumpers under there. Stopped in and caught up with my mate who allowed me to use his workshop, and I've put another set of plugs in. Got a little tiny splutter at a certain rev range, but this thing is really, really nice to drive. Temp gauge is sitting nice and low. The factory radiator is keeping it cool at 80 degrees. Bang on, it's just beautiful. Air conditioning is just lovely, it's really pleasant in here. It is getting cold tonight, you know, it's cool, it's starting to cool down, but it's really pleasant.